Sairam, everyone. Just to recollect what we were discussing last week, Swami is speaking very highly about the contributions of Bharat to the world at large. What the knowledge related to the spirit, that which does not undergo any changes, is Bharat's contribution, which Swami says is great and uplifting and effulgent. Whereas the contributions of the other countries mainly related to the external world, which undergoes changes. I think one of the questions which we were discussing was at the end was if Bharat was so great and so much to offer, and why did it fall to the foreign invasions and others who persecuted them? I think that was a question which we discussed. The reality is, I think some of the points which we discussed was that Bharatiyas tried to follow the dharma even while waging war, and they did not anticipate the type of adharmic levels which the invaders stooped to. And that was one of the causes. And we also discussed that it's a regular phenomenon that the good sometimes is loses out initially, or even for long periods of time, and only at the end they rise up. So those were some of the topics which we discussed. So I will stop here. If anyone has something to discuss or contribute or share, please go ahead. Saira. Another point which I wanted to mention was that the Bharatiyas were focused on inner victories, not external victories. They were only concerned about the external victories to the extent that they will allow them to continue their search internally, the inner search. So to that extent, worldly success was something which they did not go after. Sometimes defeat they could not avoid because they were busy with an inner search. So I will stop here. We can continue from where we left off, or if anyone has something to say. Sairam. Sairam, why don't we read?
The knowledge of the principles governing objective nature can at best provide man with food and clothing. It teaches man ways and means of gaining them. It leads to the exploitation of the weak by the strong. If the people of Bharat had bent their energies towards the discovery of the secrets of the world, they could have easily acquired mastery. But very soon, the people of Bharat recognized that this search was but secondary, and the prime position should be assigned to the spiritual. They decided that pursuing the secrets of external nature was not the real sign of Bharatiya. This resolution brought glory to this nation. Others cannot even approach the fringe of this problem. Like Prahlada of the legends, Indians have been able to survive ordeals of fire and escape unhurt the torture of ages. Those who had no spiritual outlook or aspiration were not reckoned as Bharatiyas. Many in foreign lands believed that Indians were more politically minded, an inference that was misleading. They felt that only a small fraction of Indians were spiritually oriented. But Bharat always insisted that a spiritually directed way of life was the first and foremost duty of every Indian. Whenever the chance offered itself, after discharging this duty, Indians felt that they should collect and confirm the spiritual potency that they had. This was exactly what happened in the past.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, I think we should read the Telugu until we can.
Before we read the Telugu,
Yes,
another reason for the Bharatiyas not to take part in this fight against invasion was they did not have that strong army which the invaders had. And moreover, their bent of mind was only a spiritual path, not external acquisition of lands or any other properties. So that's one of the reasons I think Bharatiyas felt that this was not our way. And Swami is trying to tell us. Am I okay? Am I correct?
Yes, Auntie. Yes, Auntie. Thank
one
you.
of the reasons.
Yes, thank you.
Many reasons were there, as you said, but this was one of the reasons.
Thank you.
Now, yeah. Prakriti Tattva Shastramulu. Yeah.
Yeah.
That from there.
Yes, Auntie. Yes.
Prakriti Tattva Shastra Rahasyamulo Manaku Annavastramulunu Matrame Samagurchagalavu.
The knowledge of the secrets of the nature principles can only provide us food and clothing.
ఇతరులను ఓడించి పరిపాలించు మార్గములు నేర్పు నన్ను
It teaches us the ways of winning over the others and also to
rule over them. And బలహీనులను అణగద్రొక్కోన్యు
exploiting the weak.
బలవంతులకు బోధించినట్టివియు
for people who are strong.
It was meant for strong people.
Nattiviyu means
బలవంతులకు బోధించినట్టివియు. That means it was meant for only
the rich, only the strong people.
Strong people.
Yeah.
Then
survival of the fittest.
Survival of the fittest. అగు భౌతిక శాస్త్ర రహస్యములను వారు కోరినచో
they sought such knowledge of those worldly earthly knowledge or knowledge.
Yeah, if they had wished for that.
Yeah, wish for that.
అవలీలగా కనుగొని ఉండగలరు.
If they had a wish to pursue these knowledges, they would have also excelled in those.
Yeah.
They would have found those secrets, mysteries.
కానీ భగవద్ అనుగ్రహము చేత భారతీయులు వెంటనే రెండవ పక్షమును కైకొని
due to God's grace, the Bharatiyas వెంటనే means at very soon they found the second part. They took to they took the other path, you can say.
They thought it was
పక్షమును గైకొని
అది మన జాతికి విశిష్ట లక్షణము కాదు అని గ్రహించిరి.
They understood that it is not it's ours. It is not the nature special characteristic of our race.
Yeah. ఇది భారతీయుల జాతికి వన్నె తెచ్చినది.
This gave color, is that Andy?
Yeah, vanna and color.
It gave color to the race of Bharatiyas.
Yeah. భారతీయులలో గల ఈ విశేషము ఇతరులు స్పర్శించుటకు కూడా అలవి కానది.
The type of characteristics or the specialities of the Bharatiyas cannot be even touched by the others.
Sorry.
Sprishinchitaku means touch only.
Sparshinchitaku.
Yeah,
Sparshinchitaku. Yeah, correct. ప్రహ్లాదుని వలె అగ్ని జ్వాలల నుండి చెక్కు చెదరక బయటకు వెదిలిది.
Just like Prahlada, from the flames of fire, they were able to get out without being burnt.
యా పరమార్థ దృష్టి లేని భారతీయులను భారతీయులుగా పరిగణింపరైది.
The Bharatiyas, Paramarthiyulanu,
who did not have any spiritual,
yeah,
they were recognized as Bharatiyas.
okay. People who do not have this the highest goal of the Bharatiyas cannot be considered Bharatiyas.
No, they did it.
They did not.
No. What happened was, those who did not have Bharatiya spiritual look also, they did recognize them as Bharatiyas.
Oh, they recognize them as well. Bharatiyuluga
Pariganimpavarairi. That means they were considered as Bharatiyas. Those who did not have even a spiritual outlook.
Okay.
ఆనాటి నిజ భారతీయులు ఇతర దేశములందు
the translation Pariganimparairi.
ఆమా.
So the translation also says they were not reckoned as Indians.
Pariganimparairina Indian, actually they were considered an Ardilya. Pariganimparairi. భారతీయులను భారతీయులుగా పరిగణింపరైరి. They were పరిగణింపరైరి.
Just check the Pariganimpa. Yeah, I know it's.
No, some Indians who are not able to, who are not have any kind of spiritual outlook, they were looked at. They were not recognized as Bharatiyas. It's given here.
Yeah.
Those who had no spiritual outlook or aspiration were not recognized as Bharatiyas. But it is.
But Pariganim, it's possible to consider them as Bharatiyas. That's the way. So
should be recognized.
Those
days, I think those days the foreigners did not understand what is Paramartha Drishti.
Okay.
They recognized even those who did not have any idea about this Paramartha Drishti. They were recognized as, they were considered.
Oh, I see.
They were considered as Bharatiyas.
So the thing is, this is something which others considered. People who outside the country, they saw even Bharatiyas who did not have any Paramartha Drishti as Bharatiyas.
Paramartha Drishti Leni.
Yeah, so Leni means people who did not have Paramartha Drishti. They were considered as Bharatiyas by some people.
ఆనాటి నిజ భారతీయులు ఇతర దేశములందు మానవుని దృష్టిలో మార్గదర్శకులు.
I don't think that's translated properly.
Yeah.
Anati, see, the real Bharatiyas of those days, okay? Anati Nisha Bharatiyulu, in the other countries, people sight, they were seen as people who showed the path.
Yeah. Margadashukulu. Guides. They were the guide.
Yeah, so in the sight of people from other countries, the real Bharatiyas were seen as people who showed us the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
రాజకీయ విషయములకై నిలిచి ఒక స్వల్పాంశము ఆధ్యాత్మిక భావముల మీద కరుగవచ్చును.
So Swami says people who are politically minded and who were established in those, there was some small part who were in the Adhyatmika Bhavamula Meeda. Karuga Vachunu means
భావముల మీద కరుగవచ్చును. రాజకీయ విషయములకై నిలిచి.
So some people who are very political minded to some extent, some of those, they may have certain deficiency in Adhyatmika character feelings. They may have certain deficiency in Karuga Vachana means Kari
But
it's burnt.
it was Swami,
Burnt.
it is misleading and சொல்லியிருக்காருங்க.
அப்படியா?
The
Karuga
small fraction of Indians were spiritually oriented.
భావముల మీద కరుగ వచ్చును means maybe misled. That's what
ಮೆಲ್ಟ್ ಕರುಗದನ್ನ ಮೆಲ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ದೆ ಕರುಗ ವಚ್ಚನು.
so, maybe we'll go with the translation, I guess.
That line was,
I know it's very
many in foreign lands believed that Indians were more politically minded. Inference that was misleading. Okay. People in foreign lands believed that Indians were more politically minded. That was a wrong thing, he says. That was misleading.
yes. In Karuga Vachunu, they're saying what is melted, dissolved, or go down of as. So it means they may be seen, they may have been considered as Bharatiyas. Rajakiya Vishayamulakai Nilichi, when seen from a political angle, ఒక స్వల్పాంశము, that's a very small portion, ఆధ్యాత్మిక భావముల మీద కరుగవచ్చును. They were sort of they were getting mixed up also, we can say, auntie, into among the other Bharatiyas.
No, I think as far as that sentence is concerned, the translation is okay, I think.
Okay.
Foreign lands believed that Indians were more politically minded. That was a wrong thing. That was misleading. The inference was misleading. That's what it's written here. రాజకీయ విషయములకై నిలిచి ఒక స్వల్పాంశము ఆధ్యాత్మిక భావాల మీద కరుగవచ్చు. They thought that they are politically minded, but spiritually very
not very
not too much. They were not
advanced.
They were swalpamsham.
Oh, I see. So okay, now I understand what Swami is saying is, many people thought the Bharatiyas were politically minded. Only to some extent they may have certain spiritual tendencies.
Yeah, they thought so.
Yeah.
Kani భారతదేశమున పారమార్థిక జీవితమును నడుపుటే ప్రప్రథమ కర్తవ్యము. But
in the Bharatiya country, to conduct oneself in the search of conduct one's life for the sake of the supreme goal is the primary duty.
Primary duty was to find out about the spiritual life.
Yeah. Paramarthika Jeevitamanu nadupute.
How to conduct spiritual.
So how to conduct a life for the sake of the supreme goal was the primary duty in the country of Bharat.
ఆపైన ఇంకేమైనా అవకాశము లభించడంతో, that is,
on top of that, if a little more opportunity was available,
తమకు గల పరమార్థిక శక్తులన్నింటినీ తాము వెతికి ఏకరించుట అత్యావశ్యకమని గ్రహించింది.
So whatever which they have got, the supreme goal related power, I would say, Shaktulan annitini, in every power which was granted by the supreme goal, they searched for that tam vidiki and collected them. That's essential. That's what they saw. Basically, if they had any time, they felt that it was their duty to search and seek all the various powers of Paramarth supreme goal and collect them if they have some time available. Something like that, aren't you?
Yeah, they were more interested in collecting.
ఆ పైన means in addition to
In
that,
addition to that,
ఇంకేమైనా అవకాశం లభించుతో
if any chance was offered to them, if there was any chance, they would try to collect all the spiritual potency what they had, and they were ekikarinchi. That was
సేకరించుట.
sekarinchuta.
So that means they are collecting
Collecting, sekarinchuta,
వెదికి సేకరించుట. So they searched and accumulated.
That
That's an essential thing.
They thought so.
They thought. So if they had any free time or time, they felt that it has to be spent on searching and collecting very powerful
Spiritual
truths.
This was exactly what happened in the past. Prachina kalamina idi jarigeno.
So in the translation, but India always insisted that spiritually directed way of life was the first and foremost duty of everyone. When the chance offered itself, after discharging this duty, Indians felt that they should collect and confirm the spiritual potency that they had. Okay.
They had.
Yeah.
They strengthened their belief, their spiritual potency.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Auntie. So this was exactly what happened in the past. That's what the next sentence in English is.
Yeah. Prachina kalamlo jariginadi.
Okay. Okay. So Prachina kalamlo in the ancient time, this is what happened.
This is what happened.
So that's what Sathya Swami is completing it. So Swami is talking about what the preoccupations of the Bharatiyas were in the ancient times and how they were viewed by others who did not have an understanding of who Bharatiyas were. They may have had a different idea. I think Swami is highlighting those things. Thank you, Auntie. So anyone would like to share? So I think Swami is talking about, even when foreigners came and they tried to undermine Sanatana Dharma, that was due to their view that the Bharatiyas were not spiritually advanced. They were just politically interested. That was their view. But they did not understand the Bharatiyas had as their primary goal the seeking of the supreme goals of life, which is Paramatma. So that's what Swami is highlighting. And it's also in that process, Swami is also telling what's our duty. Also, I think. Saira. Anyone would like to say and share anything, please go ahead.
Sairam, in that sentence where Swami is saying the real Bharatiyas of those days, in the perception of foreigners, they were seen as people who showed the way. Isn't that a different meaning there? Because they were seeing the Bharatiyas as...
See, so Swami, yeah, so Bharatiya Deshamanu No, sorry, it's...
ఇతర దేశములందు మానవుని దృష్టిలో మార్గదర్శకులు రాజకీయ విషయములకై నిలిచి ఒక స్వల్పాంశము ఆధ్యాత్మిక భావముల మీద కరుగువచ్చును. They thought so. They thought Indians were politically minded and their spiritual this thing is very little. They thought so. Sariya.
సో ఆనాటి నిజ భారతీయులు ఇతర దేశములందు మానవుని దృష్టిలో మార్గదర్శకులు, showers of the way. But I think Kalyani's question is, if they felt that, then how did they think about Rajakiya Vishyamalai? So Kalyan, you're asking if did they see us as Margadash? I think there are two hands up.
That sentence has not been
translated, no, Auntie?
It has not been translated. Margadarshaka is the guides
actually.
Yeah.
Okay,
that sentence doesn't appear here.
In the translation, it doesn't appear. Okay, let's see whether Sister Aruna and Sai Satish have something to say. Yes, Sister Aruna, please go ahead.
Only Sai Satish is before me, brother.
Okay, Sai Satish, you have before.
Sairam.
Saravana. So I'm just trying to understand this paragraph in light of Yatha Drishti Tata Srishti, in the sense that in the vision of or in the eyes of the people from the other world, obviously they had political motives. They had very little understanding of spirituality. So they reflected what is in their mindset as what they cognize of the Bharatiyas as well. In the sense, they felt that Bharatiyas are politically motivated. They have very little understanding of what is spirituality and so on. But from the drishti of the Bharatiyas per se, in terms of their internal search and this, they were the pathfinders. They were the, whether others perceived it or not, they saw their perspective as those being the pathfinders of the journey on the inside, which also goes back to what we are saying. Obviously, people who are interested in the wealth of the world will develop armies, will develop all of those, will focus their skill set, effort, time, all of that to raise such to conquer. Whereas the Bharatiya culture was always to conquer the inner enemies and not the outer ones. And that's where, despite time and again that came on the outside, they would spend minimal effort that was needed to just ward it off and focus again and again on the inner journey. And that's where Swami says, Kinchitaina, where even a little bit of time is there. Again, it was like, can I go back into that search, which will help me cognize the divinity or the truth within? So in terms of two perspectives, one, what Bharatiya saw of themselves as the pathfinders and focusing on the internal search, and the other perspective where the people from outside saw of what Bharatiyas were, and they saw it that way because they are seeing from where they are, and that is where the misconception arose. Saira.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish.
In other words, what foreigners had in their mind, they were reflecting the same opinion about Indians, saying that they were also politically minded. It was not true.
Auntie, and the foreigners also, they wouldn't have understand the spirituality even. So they may be thinking in their point of view. That's how I look at it. But I have a question. Beside of that, what is the Indian felt that they should collect and confirm spiritual potency that they had? What is that they are trying to tell? So what did they want to do? What is Swami saying with that phrase? The last one sentence before the last one. What is their...
See, sister, the question is, Bharatiyas, primarily they were engaged in the Paramarthika. Okay, so for the supreme goal, in everything which they did, in their conduct. But whenever they had time, whenever it was possible, they had the opportunity, they felt it was essential that they should continue to seek and search for these great truths and find them and collect them. So this is Swami's view. The rishis continuously were in a search mode. That is how they have collected all the knowledge into the Vedas, Upanishads, and so on. So they did not waste any time. If they had opportunity, that time was spent only in seeking further truths.
Further truths. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
investigating and searching for further knowledge in this field of Paramarthika or Adhyatmika. So they did not spend that time for worldly benefits or anything like that. That's what Swami is saying.
So they reflect on it, what they have done, then they wanted to proceed, kind of. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
It's like their research was in this field. Yes, Auntie, please go ahead.
Theirs was internal journey, going inside and then trying to confirm whatever they have collected in the spiritual path and strengthen their belief, strengthen their spiritual endeavor.
So they wanted to analyze and see whether they are doing the right thing also, right? At the end, whatever they did, their perspective also, they wanted to confirm again that is right too, right? Okay,
See,
thank you.
that's so okay, thank you. So I think I'll just to comment on Kalyani's question. Kalyani, you asked about if the others saw us as Margadarshis, how can they think they are political minded? See, I think the way I just to echo what Sai Satish said, they were politically motivated, or the power struggle. So when they looked at the Bharatiyas, they thought they are also like us. But they seem to be very good at some of these things. Because the reality was, once upon a time, Bharata was very, very successful in many ways. So the Westerners saw them as path, because in many areas, even in architecture, art, and all that, Indians were doing very well. So they felt these people can show us the way, but they felt they were not spiritual. They could not perceive the spiritual side of the Bharatiyas. So they saw them as leaders, but not necessarily in the spiritual field, is what I understand. That's what Swami is trying to say. So I'll stop here. Yes, Auntie Saku, please go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
I need clarification. It says the foreigners, they felt that only a small fraction of Indians were spiritually oriented, right? They are politically intended and they are spiritually very small fraction. Is it true?
See that. So Swami has used the word swalpamshamu. So, so I think, I don't know the translate. My understanding of the Telugu is slightly different. I will ask Auntie to correct. See, even though people were worldly minded, they had some little bit of adhyatmika, spirituality. I think each person may have had a little portion of spirituality, is the way the Westerners saw Indians. Not necessarily a few people. That's my view. But Auntie, what do you think, Auntie?
Yeah, what you say is Swalpamshamam here means a little,
A little bit,
little bit, they were oriented, spiritually oriented. They thought so. Foreigners thought that Indians were a few of them were spiritually oriented.
Auntie, Rajakiya Vishyamualakai
Nilichi. They
Oka Swalpamshamu
Hmm.
Adhyatmika Bhavamula Mida
Karuvachana. Yeah.
But that is what the foreigners thought, right?
Yes.
But in reality, it is not.
It's not.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I wanted, because how can that be happening? Because the spiritually more advanced place is India. Through experience and through knowledge.
Yes, Auntie. I think Brother Vimalusan had raised his hand, but
He just raised it.
Sairam. No, I just thought Swami telling all these, no, give the impression that Swami may be referring to the history from a certain time, or at most at Mughals invasion, then Westerners invasion, and pretty comparative. But when we go even further back from Vedic time or rishis and all that, there's no confusion what Swami says and all that. But a little bit later, or even from Upanishad time, Jainism and Buddhism, and like those atheistic religions were almost spread throughout the India quite long time and very strongly, and the Sanatana Dharma overcame that later, but for a significantly long time they were so strong. So how do we understand that is that time? So even though they are aesthetic religions, that also kind of spiritual investigation? Can we take that way, or is it because the kings followed? But whatever it is, it was widespread throughout India for a long time, right? So that kind of I am trying to how to understand that when you say throughout Bharatiyas were so so focused on no the I mean the god or whatever Atmic investigation. So is there a contradiction that way? Or I just try to clear that point.
Sairam,
Yes.
actually, Swami is speaking about the period when foreigners invaded our country and how they looked at us, how they viewed us. That is what Swami is trying to say.
Okay, that okay, I understand. That's fine.
It is not, Swami, as you say, earlier periods, it's only Vedic period, knowledge, spiritual knowledge was the main goal of every India, every Bharatiya there. But afterwards, they were very much influenced by the Westerners and the foreigners. Though their culture had an influence on us. So people thought, they should also focus on political politics and others. But actually, it was not.
Okay, so I'm saying only about that period. Okay, thank you.
Saira.
Thank you very much. Yes, Sister Aruna, please.
Brother, again, Sai Satish is before me.
Okay, Sai Satish.
Brother Sai Satish.
I just again putting into perspective what Brother Vimalesan also was saying, that again means based on even Sister Aruna's earlier question about this collecting of truths, we had discussed this about the Bhrigu and Bhrigu and his father Varuna's conversation, where he goes through that journey of starting off with Annam Brahmeti Vyajanat, like food is Brahman and so on, all the way till Anandam or bliss is Brahman. So every time, I think the children in the Bharatiya culture would always, at the very young age, that part of the Atmic search would always, Atmanveshana would begin, or the search for going within would begin, and it would always be through that introspection time and again. And that is where even a little time available was to seek the higher realm and so on. And they would keep doing that till they got that answer. So it goes to the part that always it was believed that Swami would say this, that you have a tree, you have the shadow of the tree. If you climb that coconut tree and get the coconut from that tree, you also get the shadow coconut. So the real coconut tree is the Atmic search, and the world part of the is the shadow coconut. So every time the thing was on the internal search, if we can take a leap of 9 or 10 feet, obviously it means we can scale 3 or 5 feet. It was always on the inner realm that the focused search was happening. And that's where we see whether it was Prahalada or Dhruva, all these stories are at the very young age itself. Just 4 to 5 years, it's the search of the Atman. It's not something that's much later. So what we see with these invasions happening time and again is where, when many of the things we see even during the British rule and so on, systematically it was to put the education system in place, take what was going as a traditional Gurukula system of education, break that kind of a system, introduce doubt, introduce a bit of chaos into that framework of saying that the Western education is more holier than something of that kind, make um, uh, Indians within themselves look down upon or have a doubt about their own Vedas, their own Upanishad, that kind of a sacred stream that has been flowing eternally. And then then the person starts questioning their own traditions, that kind of a thing, which belittles what has happened. And that's what you see with invasions and that kind of thing happening time and again, which shows that. But then again, when the avatars comes, time and again, that thing of the Sanatana Samskriti coming back with Swami's thing as well. We see with how we are discussing these days, how the whole thing has come back. So it is again and again, every time it is, the search tried is tried to be pushed on the external. The whole thing is channelized, and then it is told, no, actually it is the internal search. Go back deep within, look deep within yourself to find that answer. So every time it is that point which is continuously reinforced to stress what is of priority, what is of nityam and what is anityam, what is permanent, what is impermanent. Go for the permanent, not the impermanent. That kind of a search and reinforcement.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish.
Sairam,
Sairam, sister.
Sairam, brother. Now I'm just, after all this discussion, now I'm thinking, why these foreigners think that these Indians will not have the spiritually oriented? Because they may be thinking not that they know more about spirituality. They would have thought this, if they have more spiritual, then they cannot fight maybe. That's how I'm looking at it, because see, they are saying the Indians, they are thinking the Indians not much spiritually oriented. Why the foreigners thinking like that? That doesn't mean that they know more about spirituality. Am I right?
Sister,
Why they are thinking? Because of some reason only they are thinking, right?
so as I will go back to again what Sai Satish said. Everyone thinks the other person is like them. So the foreigners who invaded the country, they felt they know more. Even today, their Christianity, Islam, they are bent on conversion. Why they want to convert? Because they feel Indians are misled. They don't know what is the real spirituality. Even today, there's
Oh,
a
they
large
think
portion
they
of
know
people
more.
that they know God, they know what is good, they know what is spirituality, and Indians have to be taught. Indians have to be taught to by conversion that they don't know Jesus. Jesus is the only way to God. Or the Christians will say. Muslims will say, you have to be a Muslim. If you are not a Muslim, you should not even live in this world until you become Muslim. So it is their duty to convert them so that they will become spiritual like them. So this has been a problem going always. And they did everything
They
possible.
think they are spiritually oriented.
Of
That's why.
course, they think they only have spirituality. Indians don't have spirituality. They are worshipping trees and goats and animals and mice and monkeys and trees. They don't know anything better. They don't know spirituality. So we have to teach them. So this is the way they feel. And they are, so first of all, the Indians are ignorant. Their belief system is ignorant. So they are trying to fix it. This is the reality. But when they're trying to fix it, they're using violence and all kinds of adharmic tendencies to even to fix this, which they think is right. Even if you kill somebody, it's good. That's the way they think. So that's what Swami is telling, number
Oh,
one. Okay, so from their point of view, the spirituality which they know, they think Indians don't have.
okay. In their
Okay, so
perspective.
their understanding of spirituality is, sister, it is not only in the West, in other religions, even among Westerners in the Sathya Sai fold also think like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm not, it is a fact. Actually, when Swami came up with the permanent charter, there was a large delegation of foreign delegations, especially from the US. They said we will have a charter separately for foreign countries. Because Sanatana Dharma is Hindu and we are against it. It was led by none other than Dr. Hislop and Goldstein. So this is a fact. So let's not go there. Even now also people didn't understand. They felt, even today they feel Indians don't understand the spirituality taught by Swami. Okay, that is why let India do whatever, we will do something internationally. Because some of them really believe that only they understand what Swami has taught. Okay, so this is a problem even today, number one. And Swami, I think Sister Brother Vimalisan was asking about Buddhism and Jainism. See, Buddhism and Jainism also was seeking the higher truth only. they were also very great spiritual movements. They both of them talked about renunciation, sacrifice, lack of attachment to the world. So they were also looking for the Paramartha, supreme goal, number one. But then there were other elements which tried to confiscate that and created political turmoil, even in India. And which Swami has already spoken in the first or second chapter about the mushrooms which grew even in Indian land, which were trying to damage the Sanatana Dharma, which Swami has already covered that. But in this space, Swami is only talking about people from outside India when they came. Their understanding was these fellows don't have any spirituality. They are praying to the tree. If they see a tree, they're falling down and praying. Then how can they know God? That is the way they thought. So, but they didn't understand with what attitude the Bharatiyas were praying to the tree. Okay. The rishis, what the knowledge which rishis taught, they could not understand. So that's my understanding, and that's what Swami is trying to clearly say. Why Swami is saying this is all these problems exist even today.
Thank you.
These problems exist even today. And so, but we need to know what we have to focus on. That is the whole idea of Swami writing an entire chapter on this.
Oh,
Okay. And previous chapters also. Okay, Sai, I will stop here. Yes, Auntie Saku, please go ahead.
Yeah, it is not only the foreigners, it's among our Sai in SSIU. They think that we should not have any idols. We have to have a chair and a candle, and we can go within, because they believe that we are in the nursery class and they are in the higher class. They have gone within. So it is the belief that they have. Like the foreigners, they also look down on us. Because I am speaking through my own experience. This is what they told me when I was doing the altar work. So you can excuse the foreigners, but we can't excuse people within the organization. Sorry.
Sai Ramati, thank you. Ignorance can. So Swami is telling about these problems which exist, so that we are aware of it and how we should be. What is our real duty? Also, Swami is sort of explained, and how we should spend all our free time. Also, Swami has told. So I'll stop here. If anyone has something to say.
In that sentence, it says, so in the Bharatiya country, to conduct one's life for the sake of the supreme goal was their primary duty. And then the next sentence says, whatever little opportunity was available, they searched for, the power granted by the supreme goal.
Yes.
So that was already the primary duty. So what does Swami mean by, is it like whatever little time was available after that? But they were already doing that as their primary duty.
Okay. So Swami, see, we'll just read again. Swami says, Kani, Bharata Deshavana Paramarthika Jeevitamunu Nadapututte. So leading a life which towards the Paramartha, okay, Paramarthika, no, Paramarthika Jeevitamunu Nadapututte. To lead a spiritual life was the primary duty.
Duty of
Okay.
Bharatiyas.
Lead a spiritual life. So in addition to that, ఆ పైన ఇంకేమైనా అవకాశము. So if they got some other opportunity, so the thing is, that itself takes up a lot of time to lead a very dharmic life stipulated by the Vedas. Okay. So that is what they primarily, for example, if you take the Agnihotris, from morning till evening, they have to do various prayers, worships, and this and that. And whenever they got any chance, any free time, they did research. They sought further to collect more and more truths. It's like, if you go to if you go to a university, you will be, even it's a medicine university, there'll be research and R&D. Okay, the doctors have to come and apply the principles of medicine and treat. But at the same time, they will also do some research to further enhance their knowledge and the collective knowledge. So that is what Swami is saying. So primarily they led the life of spiritual life to go, reach God. But at the same time, they also, when they had time, they did some additional search for collecting additional truths, additional, which is what the rishis did. I think that's what I understand. I will stop here. Auntie, is that okay?
Yeah, correct. They were trying to reinforce whatever knowledge they had by going and doing some research into our Vedic scriptures.
Because there's always, see, I think, Kalyani, the understanding is even the knowledge, spiritual knowledge we have is only limited.
Limited.
See, for example, there are many people say, we already know what Swami has taught, we will lead a life. Then why are we wasting time and coming and reading and trying to understand? Because we want to enhance our knowledge. Okay, so enhancement of knowledge is a continuous process. In Sikshavalli, Swami will say Swadhyaya Pravachana. Means you have to continuously study because we have not understood everything.
Yeah.
So you do everything and then you also study every day. And what you find, you share with others. So that is the second process, because the rishis understood whatever they know is only a fraction.
Learning is lifelong experience. Yes. Learning is, for all of us, it means we can learn so many things until the last day of our lives. Still the learning is not completed.
Because we are seeking more and more better understanding of what Swami is teaching.
What he's saying.
Okay. Yes, Auntie Sakku, please go ahead.
I have one question. Where do these rishis and spiritual knowledge seekers come into this? The rishis who go to the mountain caves and they get enlightened. Those enlightenment procedures are not involved here.
See, Auntie, I don't think they ever call themselves enlightened.
Oh.
Always the unenlightened people only call the others enlightened.
Oh.
The enlightened people never say that they are enlightened.
Yes, correct.
Okay, here nowadays we can attribute some titles for ourselves like Sadguru, Jnani, Brahma Rishi, like that. We ourselves give ourselves title, or people around, who don't know anything will give me the title. That's a very common problem. So rishis, they call themselves students. They continuously were seeking God because their belief was the day they become all-knowing, they have become merged with God.
That's it.
Okay. Until then, they didn't give any title to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's my understanding. I hope that's okay.
Thank you. Yes, it did.
Yes, anyone else has something to say?
Brother, until we are born, we have to study. And every time we are born in this world, that means there's something we are missing.
So what you are saying is if we are taken birth, that means we have to learn.
Every time we are taking a birth, we have to study.
Okay.
So that means we miss something. That's why we are born again.
Thank you.
And there's a sentence that says the Bharatias very soon found a second path and took it. So this is the spiritual path?
Yes, spiritual path is Swami says the second path. Rendava Paksham. Paksham means they took the second. See, in life, always there's a fork in the path, you take one or the other. The least trodden is the spiritual path. So they took that. I think that's what I understand. I was also, when Swami said second, I said it has to be first, but it's okay. Rendava Paksham, no, Auntie?
Rendam Paksham, but referring to the Bharatiyas, I mean the foreigners' opinion, this is the second Paksham. Foreigners thought, physical sciences will give us everything. But our Bharatiyas thought, no, that was not the reason. We have to take this option. This option is to go into spirituality. That was their opinion about.
Okay.
And just had a question about just in the last discourse that came out last Thursday in the Balvikas rally, Swami kind of ends the discourse saying how to children we should convey that all religions are equal and conveying the same thing on equal footing.
Samatva. Very, very good question. So Kalyani is asking, so Swami is telling all these, and then Swami is telling all religions should be, Samatvam should be there, should be taught to children. So Kalyani is asking, how do we reconcile these two?
What was Swami's role in bringing out all the religions together and making that we have to treat every religion as equal?
And Swami is saying, don't say this is better, that's that also Swami tells in the same discourse. Don't say this is a higher, that is lower, you know, so that's right.
Swami recognized the basic truth in all the religion. Whatever religion is saying is the same thing what Hindus are saying. So he brought that basic truth which every religion has got, and showed us the way that others may think like that, but we have to recognize the values, the basic human values in our religion as well as in others.
So I think so. Kalyani question is, so these invaders came and they tried to convert. If we say both are equal, why don't we convert? That's the question almost. Am I okay, Kalyani? So why should you be Hindu? You be a Muslim, be a Christian, it's okay. If Swami says they are all equal, Swami uses the word samatva, and we will come back to that, but I will let Sai Satish, Sai Satish go ahead.
Sai Ramana, I was just going to say that when Swami says samatvam, it is from that each path leads to God and to essence. Like even for Islam, if you look at the abbreviations, it comes like I shall love all mankind kind of a thing. So the essence of the religion is what is samatvam in terms of how at the end, even as the destination also is to absolute love, and even as we go to that destination, we should essence love. But if you see in terms of walking, like even Swami and Anna, you can correct me when Swami would say the caste of humanity. Swami had mentioned that it is, when I say caste of humanity, people in another discourse also, I remember Swami had clearly said they quote Swami and they then have intercaste marriages. And it is told in the name that Swami has said caste of humanity, so everything is fine. So where Swami is coming from is each of us have our roots, have our ancestry. We have to first do justice to where we have come from. For Bharadwaja, we know he has hundreds and hundreds of years. He's not able to fathom the depth of the Vedas, even after getting the boon of life extension for that long. So when we are not even able to do justice to our own understanding, what are our roots, where we have come from, what is the fundamental basis of what our religion teaches, how do we even try to understand somebody else? Swami would always say, first know yourself. If you know yourself, you will know others. So in the fundamental context, when Swami talks about that samatvam, it's stemming from what is the essence that each religion conveys, that is to connect with God or to reach God or to essence God as love or to feel that. But in terms of practice, the justice that needs to be done for each of our things, or else it literally goes back. Why were the Varnashrama dharmas? Why did they come into a place? Why is culture and tradition important? All of that is laid down because for each individual, based on how they are born, there is a particular way one has to lead life. But overarching thing, the essence of all of that is the same. So Swami also gives in the same discourse, Swami says, you have Mysore Pak, Gulab Jamun, all those kinds of sweets. But the essence of each of those sweets is sugar. But each of those sweets have their individual names and forms. So when we go to a shop or thing, we ask for that particular thing based on thing. But that doesn't take away the essence. So when Swami is talking about Samatvam, he's talking about the essence of the religion. But in terms of following the traditions and practices, that is laid down by the Shastras, injunctions, everything. That is each one to essence it from their part. And I think it's for a person who has reached that side of the bank, they can say everything is the same. But for a person on this side of the bank where we are starting off from, it is to hold on to our roots, go through that, and then go. But I'll stop here. Sairam.
Sairam, thank you. Kalyani, in the discourse, Swami is saying, Matamulanni uveru, margambu okate. The religions are many, the path is one. Then Swami goes on to say, what is the path? He says the path which is common to all is Chitta Shuddhi, cleansing the heart. That is, with that point, equality stops. Okay. See, equality and equal are two different things. If you go to, if you work in a hospital, there are doctors, nurses, attendants, cleaners, there are many people. Are they all equal? They are not. They have all special functions. Okay. But they have to be all treated equally. There should be equality. Okay. So we should understand if children, then your question is, what should we teach the children? The children should be taught, actually, everyone is born in a particular religion because they have to learn something which that religion has to teach. The special message that religion has to teach. So everyone has to learn that message, special message. But all of them should practice Chitta Shuddhi, cleansing of the heart. So, but that does not mean there are differences and there is message from each of the person. Swami says in the previous, I think a few chapters ago we said, Swami says every race has a special message to convey, which can be learnt. But they have a special role to play. But they are all equal in the sense, as Sai Satya says, essence. So its equality does not mean equal. Okay, number one. So the thing is, number one. Number two, the problem with the religion, if a person practices their religion, it's okay. But if the person is damaging the another religion, is a problem. That should not be put up with. Because that is adharmic. Because yeah, if you are born in a Hindu or in any religion, you have something to learn. Someone else should not come and impact you negatively. They can follow their path, we can follow our path. See, we are all driving in the highway, we are all in our car and driving. If the person who is driving next to me starts driving my car also, it's a problem. Okay. So the thing is, that is where everything falls down. But number one. Number two, we should understand every religion has a special message. And from Swami's perspective, Sanatana Dharma has an all-encompassing attribute which takes everyone into its wing. And that is a speciality of Sanatana Dharma that should not be damaged by anyone. I think that's my understanding. I hope that answers your question. Yes, Sister Shilpa, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, Swami says all dharma and religions are coming from him, so treat everyone equally. And secondly, he says that if you are Hindu, be a better Hindu. If you are Muslim, be a better Muslim. So whatever caste or religion you are following, be a better version of it. Be a better human being of it. He does not say this is better or this is not. Sai.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you. So here what Swami is talking about is the damage which others have done in the name of religion, which is not, actually according to the religion also, it's not right. And that's a fact, okay? But I'll stop at that. Okay. Yes, Sister Vasudha.
Sai Ram, greetings from Saskatoon. I just remembered one incident that happened many years ago when I was in Calcutta volunteering with Mother Teresa. The first time I went to the orphanage that she ran there, I was very impressed to see that all the kids were named differently. Like there was, for example, Muhammad, and there was one girl, Durga, and there was Joseph. Normally, most orphanages tend to name their children after the religion of the owner or the trustee or the sponsor. So that was very impressive. And then Mother Teresa had her mother house quite close to the orphanage, and all the volunteers could go and pray there. I was so impressed by her, and she was a very charismatic person who actually did what she preached. So at one time, I remember talking to her and I was saying, I want to become a Catholic. I want to serve like you. I want to, I want to become a Christian. And just like Sister mentioned earlier, Mother Teresa said, no, you stay a Hindu. That's how you were born, and you be the best version of Hindu. I will stay a Catholic. That's what I adopted, and I'm baptized as a nun. I will stay there and be the best version of that. But ultimately, we're all trying to serve humanity. She had made many adaptations to the local Bengali culture. She had changed her nun's, they call it habit, to wearing a white sari with blue border, and the sari she wore in the old-fashioned Bengali traditional style. She learned to speak Bengali to communicate with the poor, because she said that's the language they will understand. But just coming back to, like, she was also an embodiment of, like, in the orphanage, she named the children according to sort of different religions. And she remained a Catholic, and she inspired me to be a better Hindu. Sairam.
Thank you, sister. Thank you. So you can see the impact of Bharata having on people who are sincere. Even other religions, they came and they adopted the best Bharata also had to offer, and there was an integration. Positive, I guess. Thank you. Sairam, anyone else has anything to say? Ask. Okay, then shall we continue to read? I think we'll.
Think so.
National integration meant, in those days, the concentration and commingling of all the spiritual forces and urges that were scattered among seekers all over the land. The word nation meant in India the grouping together of hearts that beat time to the same song and that respond by similar vibration to the same spiritual call. The basic truths that this faith expounded were as broad as the sky, as eternal as creation. Those truths were described in many subtle ways and commented upon very close and deep. But as a result of the very breadth of the vision that discovered them and laid them down, it was inevitable that many faiths emanated on the basis of the beliefs they encouraged.
Okay, thank you. Auntie, Telugu we can read.
భారతీయ పారమార్థిక తత్వమున జాతి సమైక్యమునగా చెల్లా చెదురుపడి ఉండు పారమార్థిక భావములను అన్నిటినీ ప్రాగు చేయుట అని అర్థము. భారతీయ పారమార్థిక తత్వమున జాతి సమైక్యమనగా.
So if we say the integration or unification of the races according to the Bharatiya supreme principle,
చెల్లా చెదురుపడి ఉండు పారమార్థిక భావములు.
So the feelings which are dispersed, sorry, auntie, chella chedurena
dispersed,
which are dispersed, all the spiritual feelings which are dispersed,
అన్నిటినీ ప్రాగు చేయుటే అని అర్థము.
to collecting or bringing them together is the meaning of this unity.
Here, one thing, Jati Samaikyamanaga. Here the concept Jati Samaikyamanaga, here Swami is saying it, national integration.
Yeah, national integration, yes.
Bharatiya Paramarthika Tattvamuna.
So in the principle of Bharatiya Supreme Principle,
Jati Samaikyamanaga.
if we are talking about integration of the races or nations,
Challa Chadrapadiyundu Paramarthika Bhavamulu.
to all the spiritual feelings which are spread or dispersed,
Annitini Pragu Cheyata Ani Arthamu.
bringing them all together is the meaning.
So Swami is giving the definition for integration.
Integration.
Yeah, he is giving the meaning for integration. Bharata Deshamana Jati anu Mataku, okay, Paramarthika Mataku.
So in the country of Bharat, for the word Jati or race,
means okay, Paramarthika Ragumanaku.
For the one tune of supreme goal,
Tala Rupamanana Okatiga Spandinchu Hrudayamulu.
To have the same beat to which all the hearts beat. Spandinchu means they stop, no, auntie?
Spandinchu, which is
to
beating.
Beat, yeah.
Beating
the
of
heart should all beat to the same beat.
Same tune, same beat. Spandinchu Hridayamulu Galavari Yokka Kudike Ani Arthamu.
So that is the coming together of all those people who have the heart which beats the same beat and same tune.
Yeah. So Swami is saying Jati. What is the meaning of Jati? Yes. The definition of Jati means all the Hridayas, all the hearts which beat to the same tune in the same way, they are the real Bharat.
That's the real meaning of a Jati.
Jati. That's the real meaning of Jati. ఈ మతమునకు ఆధారభూతములగు సూత్రములు.
For this religion, the support or the foundational principles,
ఆకాశముల విశాలములను it's vast like
vast like this sky.
ప్రకృతి వలె శాశ్వతములుగా అయినవి.
They are permanent like the nature.
There I know I just have one. Recently we thought Prakriti is always changing.
Yes.
We learned. Here, how is it? It is eternal as creation.
So Shashvata means it's permanent. But there is change which happens. So there is some permanency for Prakriti, but it has the nature of change, continuous change. But it's ever like I think we already looked at, Brahman and nature are two parallel lines which
parallel lines. Yeah, Prakriti so there, Swami said it is ever changing.
Auntie, even for Prakriti, Swami has said there's no beginning, no end. Just like the Brahman. In the past, Swami has made that statement. There's no beginning, no end, even for Prakriti. So, but it is continuously given to change.
But it is no beginning and no end.
No beginning.
That's why Shashvatamuga.
Shashvatamu, yeah.
Akashamu vale Vishalamu, Prakriti vale Shashvatamu.
So what Swami is also saying, the Shashvatam is like the nature, continuously changing. The Matam is also changing. Okay. See, the religions are also changing. The belief systems are also continuously changing, just like earth. See, and nothing is permanent practice, even in religions. There are new religions coming, religions going out. There are new techniques coming up. But through all this, there is something which is permanent in the.
ఈ సూత్రములకు ఎంతో సూక్ష్మ రూప వివరణము కల్పింపబడినను.
For this principle, many subtle explanations could be imagined.
Imagine. సూత్రముల లోగల వైశాల్యము వలన మత శాఖములన్నీ వాని ఆధారపై ఉత్పన్నమగుట సహజమే కదా.
So, but within this each principle, there is such expansiveness which is available. Because of that, there are many branches of religions which take the support of this, and they come out. Utpanna Mukutta means they created anti. They come into. They're born. Yeah.
Born.
They are born. Isn't it natural? So what Swami is saying, the sutra is so wide and expansive that there are many branches which can be born from this. It is natural for it.
కావున ఇచ్చట శాఖా సంప్రదాయ బృందములుండియే తీరవలను.
So, therefore, here there has to be a collection of branches without fail. It has to be. So Swami is saying there is a definite condition for many, many branches to be there, and the collection of branches will always be there because of the expansiveness of the principle which is there in the Bharatiya principle.
Yeah, it's inevitable. It was inevitable. Many faiths emanated.
Inevitable, yes. Thank you.
Okay, I think it stopped there.
Is that's all?
Yeah.
It was inevitable. That's okay. So Swami is giving the explanation why there are many branches of faith and systems and religions which continue to evolve because of the expansive nature of this principle of the Bharati. Bharatiya Paramartha.
Jati is taken as nation.
I know they have see, the word Jati is always troubling all the translators, Auntie.
All the translators, yeah, correct.
Okay. So
caste is not the exact meaning of here.
Yeah, so because Swami usually uses the word Manava Jati.
Manava Jati.
So that means mankind or human race.
Yeah, that
human race is Manava Jati. And within that Jati, there are many Jati. They are also there. So it's
yeah.
Jati means that which is from which you are born is Jati. Okay, so it all depends on your birth. That is a physical birth to which you belong. That becomes Jati.
To be born.
To be born. Yeah, Jati, Jantu, all of them. You are born into that class of beings, which collectively work together. That Swami says, no, with the same tune, they are all singing.
Yeah.
It's one song. So each Jati is singing one song.
And each heart is beating the same talam. Same talam to the same tune.
It's unavoidable. Yes, Kalyani, I think you're unmute and speak.
In this jati that Swami is referring to here in this paragraph, so is it including all the different religions, like under this principle that Swami is talking about? Is it including the various religions of the world?
I think it is a way I understand, I may be wrong. Jati is another subsection of within a religion also. Within one religion, you can have many jatis. So that's why Swami has used the word branches also, you see. See, everywhere branches are splitting and growing in their own way. It's unavoidable. If every religious tradition also, if you see, there are many branches. If you take Christianity, the number of denominations is countless now. If you take Islam, there are many branches. Each person comes up with their own system of belief system, and it's separate, different. We may not understand. We only know Sunni and Shia, but even there are so many Ahmadiyyas, Sufis, so many. Even within that, there are many, many branches. So that's the reality. So, and each of the branch becomes a jati, for a lack of a better term, is the way I understand. Because you're born into that family, you're born into a Sai family, means you believe Swami. If you're not born into that, you're a different jati. Jati means your practices are different. whoever believes in one thing will do the same thing together. That's the reality. I think so. That's why Swami has used a very generic term called jati. It's very difficult to translate in English. That's what I would say.
Yeah, the word nation.
Yes, nation.
Nation. Bharata Desham jati.
Nation is different from country. Because the word nation comes from the word nativity.
Nativity.
You are a native, means you are born. So but I don't think when people say nation, people think it's a country.
Yeah, of course, whenever we say nation, we belong to that particular country.
But nation is where you are born. The circumstances and the families or the society within which you are born is nation. But what I call my nation may be different from your nation. Sorry. Okay, Sister Aruna.
Sairam, brother, I'm just thinking to myself now. See, you have mentioned Sathya Sai, like we believe on Swami, and we has that belief, and we have encouraged, and we are in Swami. But at the same time, we call it as Hindu and go to the temples and everything, and others also go. So where this is something is that I'm trying to connect here.
See, temple, many people go, sister. Christian also can go, Muslim also can go, Sai devotee also can go, non-Sai devotee also can go. Okay, but the way you go and pray may be different from the way somebody else will go to pray the same temple. That's all I will say. I will ask others to share any thoughts. Just frozen. So
when it comes to the temple, like a Swami, we have come out of the like a Hinduism kind of thing. Why we are calling Swami means Swami as a god. Then I'm just thinking how that then the religion part people practice, that part we are not involved too much with that, right?
So that's why Auntie, when Kalyani asked the question, do we belong to, is it religion based or country based? I think that was the question she asked. I said it's a subset. You understand? Even if you take one religion, Hindu religion, even Sanatana Dharma, there are different, people who pray to Shiva, people who pray to Vishnu. There are people who pray to both Shiva and Vishnu. Then there are people who pray to. So these are different traditions which come about. Okay, and so then within that, there's a uniformity of thought. But they all can go to the same temple and pray. But whether you go to a temple and pray or not, you have a community where the similar ideas, the same type of activities and thinking happens. And that becomes a natural collective or jati, I would say. That's the way I'm saying, but I will just stop here. That's each person's interpretation.
Arun, the first sentence.
Yes, sir.
Slowly we have to figure out what Swami is trying to tell us. Bharatiya Paramarthika Tattvamuna Jati Samaikyamanaga.
So in the context of Bharatiya principle-based, principle-based system of thinking, the meaning of the word Aikyata means union of Samaikyata means integration.
Samaikyata, Sama Aikyata. They all are together equally. Equality?
Yes, Auntie.
Equality edkalama.
See, Sama Aikyata means equality among equal people.
Okay.
No, so integration among equal people.
Okay.
Equality, yeah, something like that.
So Paramarthika Tattvamana Jati Samaikyamanaga Chella Cheduru Padiyundu Paramarthika Bhavamulu.
So all the various diverse feelings of spirituality
Annitini Pragu Cheyuta Ani Arthamo.
To collect them all is the meaning.
Pragu Cheyuta ante it is
collecting.
Collecting.
I don't know, Pragu means to harvest, Auntie.
Pragu Cheyuta. To be bringing it together, I think.
Bringing it, okay.
Pragu. No, exact word I Can you just make out from the dictionary? Pragu cheyata.
Pragudichi means I couldn't.
To make it better, is it? Pragu cheyata. To make it.
Purvottaradi
Hmm.
Kadi. Purvottaradi Kadi. That's a
Purvatra dikkadi.
no.
Pragu cheyata.
No, Pragudichi means
పారమార్థిక భావములను అన్నిటినీ ప్రాగు చేయట. Collect them, is it?
Ishanya Konamu means Pragudichi. I don't.
Acha. It doesn't apply here.
Deva Mula. No, it's not getting actually. Pragu Chetam.
Pragu. You just look at the Pragu.
There's no word Pragu. That's a problem.
Pragu, yeah. Okay. We'll take in.
Maybe we'll do some research and come back.
Yeah, mingling of all the spiritual forces. He has given, Swami has, it has been translated, mingling, commingling of all spiritual forces.
Yeah, that's what the translation says. Oh, is it Progu Cheyita?
So, Progu, Progu. Sorry, and Pragu Parchan. Progu means, what does it mean?
Progu means
To bet.
To collection.
Collection.
To heap, collect, accumulate. So Progu Cheyita.
Collecting it.
Yeah, so collecting all the various diverse feelings of spirituality.
పారమార్థిక భావములు అన్నిటినీ.
So jati samaikyam. So it's an integration of various jatis in an equal manner, which means to collect all the diverse feelings of spirituality. So here Swami says each jati has its own feeling of spirituality.
Yeah.
So you bring all of them together. That is jati samaikyamanaga. That is a national integration. So for example, if we look at Swami was able to bring Christians, Muslims, Hindus of various kinds together and somehow keep them together. But each of them, whether we like it or not, is a separate jati. But Swami was able to keep them together to achieve certain integration, national integration. You can say, integration of jatis.
So to a great extent here, jati means Swami is meaning about the Zoroastrian or the
Yes.
or some.
Yes.
I think he means only that.
Yeah, but not only, even if you take Hindu also, Auntie, there are so many jatis within, you can jatis can be based on language, jatis can be based on religion, jatis can be based on profession. But in spite of all these differences, people were able to come together.
Because they were singing the same tune, their heartbeats were in the tune with the talam.
Because Swami became the heartbeat.
Brother, in that case, in different religion, who has the same thought, same way of same tune, they come together as one. That like a Sai family, right? Come as one,
Yes.
right? But even though that system was there, now they are coming together as one. I think that is kind of now we are encouraged in that faith system to see others as one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how I'm.
So the thing is, we may not be able to live in the same way, everyone, but at least we should be able to come together and do something in a harmonious way, which is what this jati samaikyata.
So when you come as Sai family, you can see other religion or other god. You can see through Swami as like one, but Swami bringing that's what the last sentence says, it's inevitable, many faith emanate, right?
Yes.
What we emanate, how, and that basis is encouraged. So from there, we will see now others are same kind.
Because diversity cannot be eradicated. You can only find unity within that diversity.
Yes.
But as you say, there is a special message every religion
Yes.
conveys to us. That should be kept in our mind. And at the same time, to bring all the religions together, what Swami has done to the community, to the humanity. He has brought them together. I think it's 4:30 now.
Oh, 4:30. Thank you. So, shall we pause here today and we'll meet again next week?
Yeah, same. We can discuss.
We can again have a Samaikyata at the study circle. So, okay. Saira.
Can I make two announcements, please?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you, Sairam. Sairam, everyone. We have started our Agata Sarudram monthly, and we wanted to do before Swami's 100th birthday 11 times. So first one was held on in February. Now the March one going to be coming Saturday, March 15 from 9 a.m. At Middlefield Sai Center. We encourage all of you to join. That's one. And the second one is retreat. We are organizing a retreat to celebrate Swami's centennial birthday. That is going to be on May 9, 6 p.m. to Sunday, 2:30 p.m. Sunday, May 11th, 2:30 p.m. The registrations links are open. This is a Swami's centennial celebration retreat. We encourage everyone to join. The registration links are open, and we have shared with all the centers. And if anyone don't have access to the link, please message me. I can share with you. Thank you, Sai.
Sairam, sister, thank you very much. We'll close with Samastaloka. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.